that happening with another patient, her default is, okay, what did they teach me in school? Or what did, so she had a difficult sciatica patient who had multiple factors feeding into the sciatica stuff. And so she's trying to dig through that. And she came back and said, well, in school, we learned if this happens, or I read a research article that said if this happens, this happens. And I said, okay, so what does that mean for this patient? So then we talked about how the research might say something, school might have said something, but they didn't see that patient. So it's up to you to figure out, you've got that patient in front of you. Now, how are you going to problem solve getting through what didn't work, what do I do next, and how do I keep on moving? So, and if you've been through the shift, you've heard me say this forever, all the time, keep moving forward. Go to the next thing. Don't panic, don't change gears, just keep moving to the next thing, keep moving to the next thing. And then eventually something's going to happen where it's like, okay, that worked. Now that made sense why this didn't work, so I go back and I do this. So it's a system of checks and balances where you're always checking your work. So with that patient, what we had to do is I had to kind of break down for Jenna, okay, so the one thing that patient has a problem with is getting her knee straight. So she's got a terrible knee. She's got sciatica on that leg. So Jenna noticed, well, her sciatica really kicks up when we do just knee extension on that leg. And then if I turn that into a nerve glide or a nerve mob, that lights everything up. And I said, so after you get done, so take that information, test what you think the muscles are involved in those positions on the table. And then after you do that, go retest the position. So she did that and motion increased. So she actually took out the goniometer, measured it. Motion increased after she did the table work. Motion increased after she did resisted flexion extension at the knee. Nerve pain decreased. Nerve glide, nerve mode positions were getting more comfortable. So then I said, okay, so we haven't done anything functional yet, so get her up and do all your functional stuff and then reassess motion. So every time you check and balance things, you're like, okay, that worked, more motion, more strength. So getting the patient away, and my goal with Jenna was get her away from this mindset that she's got this neurological issue, this sciatic nerve. So I wanted her to stop thinking about sciatic nerve and start thinking about joints and muscles that are involved. And so when she came back and she asked, well, how do we know where the nerve is getting the pressure's getting on the nerve, or how do I know where the nerve's getting caught? And how do I know how to do that? I said, well, you have to go through the whole process, then sit back and take apart your thinking. So it's not think about, okay, where is this getting caught and how I'm going to release that. It's I'm going to trust the process and do the process, and range of motion increased, nerve tension decreased, pain decreased, function increased. So now after I've done that, now I can go back and take apart my thinking and be like, okay, these are the things that I did, which means is probably this problem was coming from this. So it's reverse engineering, not letting the symptom guide your thinking. You trust the process, you do the process, and then you can reverse engineer where it's coming from, which is hard for students because you guys, once again, only know what you've been taught and what you've experienced. So since she hadn't experienced that, and the only thing she has to fall back on is symptom-based thought processes, that's what was getting her confused.
Yeah.
Okay. So now moving forward, you still got another rotation, but as you get through and you get out of school, get into your own career, do you feel like you have a system that has a system of checks and balances so you can understand what you did, why it worked, and then move forward and problem solve?
Yeah, I definitely think I have a really good foundation for moving forward as I continue to learn those clinical reasoning skills that I can go back and really pick apart what I've been doing the checks and balances, just like you said, something like a really good foundation to build off of.
Okay. And the thing to remember with Jenna and the students that come through here, I don't give them the shift material. So she has the manual with all of the NFTs and the palpations and all that, but they don't go, and she didn't go through the critical thinking. She didn't go through the neuromuscular review modules. So what I told her is, the reason why you're getting stuck in your processes right now is you haven't gone through the critical thinking module, and the critical thinking is what you don't get in school. So remember, it doesn't matter if you're in high school, undergrad, grad school. School doesn't teach you how to think, it teaches you what to think. So the important part as you go through and you get better and better at things is to take apart your thinking, use critical thinking and reasoning to understand what's happening so you can then move forward with that to do something else. So in 10 weeks, like I said, she went through the accelerated program at the beginning. So she's been seeing probably 7 to 8 patients on her own.
Yeah, I think I saw 11 or 12 today.
Okay,
Yeah.
11 or 12 on her own for the last 3 weeks, pretty much 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually really good. And do you feel like you're getting good results?
Yeah.
Yep. So patients tell me, hey, she's fantastic. She's really good. Is she going to work here? And I keep telling them, no, she's got to go back to another year of school. And then I got to convince her to live in Colorado after that. So even though she doesn't have all of the pieces, I told her the other day, I could take her and stack her up against any other PT student in her class. And I guarantee if I put them both in an outpatient clinic in a setting similar to this, she would crush the other student just because she understands a totally different way of thinking. And I would put her up against any other PT in town too. So I could take her and drop her in any PT clinic in town and she would outperform the PTs that have 5 years of experience.
Flattering.
Yeah. I didn't tell her that yet, so you're first to hear. Okay. All right. So that's what it kind of sounds like, feels like to go through a rotation here. And I know we're kind of filled up with students, but if you want to do rotation, reach out, let me know, and I can let you know if we have some openings for next year. But again, Jenna did a fantastic job, and I'm hoping she can go back to Angelo State and teach some of her classmates the stuff she learned here and have a fantastic career.
Thank you.
Yep.